In the mid-14th century, a child was born who would grow into one of the most feared military commanders in English history, Edward of Woodstock, remembered as the Black Prince. Son of King Edward III, his destiny was not just to inherit a throne, but to shape it through war. Raised amidst courtly luxury and the harsh realities of conflict, Edward was trained from youth to lead armies, speak multiple languages, and embody the chivalric ideals of a perfect medieval prince. At just 16, Edward faced his first real trial, the Battle of Crécy. Leading the English vanguard against a much larger French army, he held the line with strategic brilliance and fearless leadership. When reinforcements were requested, his father replied, "Let the boy win his spurs," and he did. The English longbowmen shattered the French ranks. The battle was a triumph, and Edward emerged as a rising star in the brutal theater of war. 10 years later, Edward achieved his greatest victory at Poitiers. Outnumbered and encircled, he outmaneuvered the French king John II, using terrain and tight formations of archers and dismounted knights. When the dust settled, the French king himself was Edward's prisoner. The humiliation for France was immense. For England, it was a moment of triumph. Edward became a living legend, knight, strategist, and symbol of national pride. With power came complexity. Appointed Prince of Aquitaine, Edward soon faced revolts, political unrest, and financial collapse. In 1367, he marched into Spain, supporting Pedro of Castile. Though victorious at Nájera, the campaign drained his resources and ravaged his health. Illness would haunt him for the rest of his life. Then came Limoges. When the city rebelled, Edward's forces crushed it. Chroniclers claim thousands were killed. Whether true or not, his once glorious image began to fracture. Edward returned to England, weakened and politically isolated. Still, he remained engaged, pushing for reforms in Parliament. But in 1376, just a year before his father's death, Edward died at 45. The crown passed instead to his young son, who would become Richard II. Edward was buried in Canterbury Cathedral, beneath a haunting inscription, "Such as thou art, sometime was I. Such as I am, such shalt thou be." He had lived like a king, but would never rule as one. The nickname Black Prince wasn't used in his lifetime, and its meaning remains unclear. Some say it referred to his armor, others to his fearsome reputation. But what is clear is this: Edward of Woodstock shaped a generation of war and knighthood. He embodied the glory and the brutality of his age, a prince forged in fire, whose victories resounded across Europe. He never wore the English crown, but in history, his shadow looms larger than many kings. Enjoyed this dive into the life of the Black Prince? Let us know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to History in Short for more powerful stories from the past, told fast.